Hey, welcome back. It's good to have you here on part 3 of tips for writing your resume and writing it well. Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're trying to help you with your resume and how you can become accomplished and get that job you want at the interview, before the interview, so that they can read your resume and say, I want this guy. So let's go right into it. Tip number 4, write better accomplishment bullets. The number one challenge I hear from job seekers when it comes to writing their resume is how much they struggle to write about their accomplishments. So being able to tell your story to potential employers in a way that conveys you're capable of achieving something, it's not easy to put down in a resume. Most people struggle to write about themselves. To help you make the process of writing about your accomplishments easier, there's a formula that you should use. And I mentioned this before in another YouTube video, I think part 2. It's called the CAR, C-A-R formula. It stands for challenge, action, and results. So you start with an action verb that describes the steps you took to resolve a specific problem or challenge. And again, I'm going to put this in the bottom and the link below, the 170 plus action words. It's a free document you can check out, and it'll help you with that, so you can write the correct words on your resume. So yeah, start with action verbs that describe the steps you took to resolve a specific problem for the challenge. Number 2, describe the challenge you faced using industry-specific keywords. Think professional, technical, academic, hard skills. And number 3, share the quantifiable and measurable results of the action you took to resolve the problem that you faced. If you're struggling to find quantifiable data that you can use, try comparing or contrasting past and present performances of yourself or competitors or in the companies you've previously been with, or some numbers from somewhere else. Ask yourself questions like how much, how many, when, before, after, to what end. These questions will help you discover data that you can use. Tip number 5, give the reader some context. So provide the reader or the interviewer that's reading your resume with the background information that will help them understand and appreciate your accomplishments. It simply makes your achievements more impressive. You could say that you increased annual revenue 32%, but when you give the solution in context, it can be like this. Increased annual revenue 32% in spite of the 2020 economic turndown. Now, the reader can understand the depth of the accomplishment and how truly impactful it was. It's also a good idea to let them know if you were recruited in a role for a specific reason. Perhaps you were recruited into the role to reverse declining sales, improve company culture, or revamp the operational processes. Add meaning and impact to your resume by sharing context of the situation that existed when you were brought on board. Tip number 6, give your resume more wow. We've all been there, the place where you wanted your future employers to read your resume and say, wow! But what exactly is a wow factor, and how do you get your resume a striking wow factor? Your wow factor is the most important, impressive, and valuable information about you as a candidate. It's the top 2 or 3 things you want your employer to immediately know about you so that they'll be impressed and can't wait to learn more. The wow factor is part of your personal brand. It's what distinguishes you from other similarly qualified candidates. It must be prominent throughout your resume, especially at the top, so it won't be missed and will be instantly you will be instantly putting your best foot forward, so to speak. This must include a few specific elements to ensure it's memorable and impressive. It must be specific. Your wow factor must tell about what you've achieved. not what you're responsible for or were responsible for or what you have done in the past. Include quantifiable and measurable data. Include quantifiable or measurable data if possible. Here's an example of a vague statement. Responsible for contract closing and revenue growth. Here's an example of a specific statement. Grew contract closing 68% and increased gross revenue 40% for 2019. Now, that's way better. It needs to show action. The easiest way to do this is to replace passive language like responsible for and duties included with action verbs like grew, developed, pioneered, transformed. And again, look at that list of 170 plus resume action verbs that we talked about. It's in the link below. Again, where to include the wow factor. You can include the wow content throughout your resume. It can go anywhere, but there are a few specific places that it should be included in. So the resume summary. I've never been a big fan of a bland, generic, resume summary. I'm a huge proponent of what I like to call a career snapshot. It's basically a beautiful picture of 2 or 3 of your wow statements. The most impressive and noteworthy information about you as a candidate. It gives the reader a quick glance at what you've accomplished, who you are. I recommend limiting it to 2 or 3 wow statements for your summary. You don't want to overdo it, but you also want to make sure you grab the reader's attention and impress them. Alternatively, you can include 1 wow statement at the top of the resume as part of your personal branding statement, and then add 2 or 3 into your summary. This way you're giving them 3 memorable pieces of data about the value you can create for the new company. When writing your wow statement, be concise. It's easy to be verbose or explaining with more words than you have to. It's harder to say what you mean in fewer words as possible. However, the fewer the words makes a bigger impact. You're giving them a quick idea of content. You're not giving them the full story quite yet. You can go into the details further down in your work experience section of the resume. Don't forget to incorporate hard skills. These are the industry-specific keywords that hiring managers will be scanning the resume for. And including them in your wow statement is a great way to capture their attention. Here are 2 or 3 examples of wow statements that you can use on that we used on a client's resume. He was a CEO, board member, and a chairman. This is what we said. Transform the MRC company's operating model into a technology-enabled global contact service company with 30 locations in 7 countries. Define the strategies to grow revenue from 20 million to 400 million plus. And the EBITDA from 500K to 42 million plus. Co-founder and built a dedicated customer service business model that reached 3K employees in 3 years. Here are 3 examples of wow statements that a certain CEO, board member, and chairman used. Transform the MRC company's operating model into a technology-enabled global contact services company with 30 locations in 7 countries. Define the strategies to grow revenue from 20 million to 400 million plus. Co-founded and built a dedicated customer service business model that reached 3K employees in 3 years. We're going to stop right there with part 3. We're going to go into part 3 and finish this step number 6 about the wow statement. We'll continue with that next video. we'll have the next video in a couple days, so it'll be up. We do videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you'll be seeing that real soon. Thank you for checking us out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our program. We thank you so much, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you. Don't forget to check out my other channels on TikTok and Instagram. Have a great day. Check out the links below. We got the 170 plus action verbs, and we also have clarisway.com. They're an awesome company, and they'll help you with your 6-figure income. Check them out. They answer all your questions. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.